So this cow is seriously lame, but we've got a bit of a feeling that it's because she's freshly calved, and sometimes when that happens, they kind of knuckle over. We call it knuckled for obvious reasons. Genuinely, I'm hoping we're wrong and there's a big massive abscess that sprays out of my face and we can completely heal her, because if that's not the case, then there's pretty much nothing I can do for this little cow. This is the Hoof GP. I know that you've not seen how lame this cow is, but at the end of this video, when I let her out of the crush, we'll all see just how uncomfortable she is. This video was shot today at a farm that we were there to routine trim, but this cow was not part of the routine group. We fetched her once we'd done them from the hospital pen, which is where she's been for the last few days. After initially trimming it with the grinder, my initial thoughts, it's weird when you say the same word twice in one sentence, isn't it? Anyway, my initial thoughts are that it is unfortunately her ankle, but I hold a little bit of hope in this bit here. This could be a bit of a problem, this could be a bit of a problem, and this could be a bit of a problem. So we're just going to continue our routine part of the trim. This is step number 3, modelling out the soles. You see, a lot of the time when you do the routine part of the trimming, you actually kind of make all of the problems that you think could have been problems disappear. So that's why you do the routine part of the trim first, because a lot of the time the routine trimming deals with what could be the issue. All I'm going to do now is just buff this off gently, because there's a little bit more height here. Buff this off just to double check, and we're going to actually use these hoof testers to see if we can put a huge amount of pressure on this cow's foot and throw up any problems. But her foot has been really steady throughout this trim. It's a telltale sign there's nothing wrong. I know you haven't seen this cow walk yet, but as soon as we let her out of the cushion, you're going to understand why I'm saying she is so lame, because she seriously is in a lot of pain. So these hoof testers put a huge amount of pressure on the cow's foot. You can use your thumb, but you're only going to get 3 or 4 pounds of pressure. With this, you're going to get 50 or 60 pounds probably. This is my only hope. But as you can see, I'm putting a huge amount of pressure on it and she's not reacting in any way. These hoof testers work by, this is going to sound terrible, by inflicting pain on the cow. Kind of. If there's no pain there whatsoever, if there's no problem, it won't cause any sort of pain whatsoever. And using the word pain actually sounds bad in this. But when there is something that we can't determine with our naked eye or with our hands or feeling or looking or smell or whatever, when you use the hoof testers, the cow will react because it hurts. And that sometimes is the only way we can discover the true cause of the problem. In this case though, it's not working. So all I'm going to do is complete this trim by reducing the height of this and making sure that little black spot is nothing to worry about. You notice I hesitated there because that little black spot is actually cracking deeper than I first thought it would. It's rare that I'm desperately wanting a problem, but in this case, unfortunately, this does not materialise into what I was hoping it might be. I use my fingers and the hoof testers once again just to double check and be sure before moving on to the inner claw, just to do a bit of a search cut and to ensure that there is nothing at all wrong with that inner claw either. This white powdery mark here is called pith, and it lets me know that there is actually depth of hoof horn here that would naturally shed away in the wild. As hoof horn dries out, it sheds away, it wears down, but it also sheds away from the sole, and that is hoof horn shedding away, which lets me know that it's not really connected to the corium anymore and I can go a little bit deeper. One of the golden rules of hoof trimming is to spare the inner heel. In other words, don't remove any of the material from the inner claw, the one that is far away from us right now. But in this instance, as you can all tell, I have removed a small portion of it. This cow is sore on this back right foot, so she's not been using it as she normally would, and therefore it has not worn down in the normal manner, meaning that in order to make sure the foot angle is correct, I needed to remove pieces of hoof from almost every area of this cow's foot. And unfortunately that is us done. just wait till you see how she's walking and you'll understand why I was searching so hard. So as I let her go here, you can see exactly why I was so concerned. She is seriously hurting on that back right foot. I keep saying foot. She is seriously hurting on that back right ankle. Like I said, this is what we call knuckled, and unfortunately for me, I can't do anything about it. But Metacam and its friends will be doing something to help her. She's actually going back into her soft bedded pen because obviously we don't want her walking on hard ground. It's not like I can put a block on this, is it? It's right in her ankle. This is definitely the best place for her. This bedded pen will allow her to be soft-footed, if you like. The guys will already be treating her with Metacam, which is a bit like ibuprofen, if you understand what that is, which is basically a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, NSAIDs. That'll take the inflammation down in her ankle, give her pain relief, and hopefully allow her to completely recover. This, unfortunately, has been the Hoof GP, and I say unfortunately because I wish it was the ankle GP in this case, because there's not much we can do about it. Although I can't do anything about it, the farmer is doing something about it, and that is why she's in what we call the hospital pen, a soft bedded, soft pack, soft sawdusty type place where they're not getting milked and they are being given the very best of care. This, again, unfortunately, has been the Hoof GP.